last week, Braun Strowman suffered an elbow injury.
I'm digging too much over there.
Yeah, whatever, you're already hurting me, you might as well just finish the job.
We are the Hurt Business.
Woo! Dandy. There's one thing. Oh, quick! Wasting a little time in the power of Strowman.
Look at this. Two of the biggest, most physically dominant human beings WWE has ever put in a ring, sitting across from each other at an arm wrestling table on a Monday night. Both of them look completely untouchable, like nothing in the world could put either of them down. That is what WWE wanted you to see. Here is what WWE did not show you. One of those men had a structural defect inside his spine that was 9 millimeters away from ending his career, and his ability to use his own arms permanently he did not know. His doctors did not know. WWE did not know. Not on that night in 2019. Not for 4 more years. The other man had already been fired from a major wrestling company for something he did not even do. Not because of his behavior, not because of his performance, because of someone else. And nobody at that company even wanted to be the one to tell him. This video is going to tell you both stories, completely with sources, because the two men at that table looked like the future of WWE. And what actually happened to both of them is a story this channel has been waiting to tell.
1, 2, 3, go!
Lock it up. And Lashley trying to take Strowman down and by the chalk. Strowman can't see any.
Braun Strowman, real name Adam Scherr, 6'8", 385 pounds, a man who flipped ambulances on WWE television, a universal champion, a man who looked like nothing in the world could hurt him. In May 2023, during a tag match on Raw, he took a move wrong. His head whipped back. Both of his arms went completely limp, paralyzed for 3 full seconds, mid-match, in front of a live crowd. He described it as a lightning bolt shooting out of both arms at once. He finished the match, got to the back. The doctors checked him. The results were terrifying. He had spinal stenosis, where the spinal column tightens around the spine. Most people who have it don't know until something goes wrong. Strowman had only 9 millimeters of clearance between his C4 and C5 vertebrae. 9 millimeters. Roughly the thickness of 9 sheets of paper stacked together. That was all the space between him and permanent paralysis. And he had been wrestling, taking massive impacts, lifting 300-pound men for years with that condition already inside him.
A slam to Strowman. Strowman's down. Oh, is he? Well, was.
After that match, Strowman had surgery, cervical spinal fusion, C4 and C5 fused with a metal plate and 4 screws, out for a year minimum. And he was scared, not just about wrestling, but about his daily life, about whether he could use his arms the same way again. He called the one person who understood Steve Austin. Because in 1997, Owen Hart gave Austin a botched piledriver at SummerSlam that nearly ended his career permanently. Austin had been through the exact same surgery. He told Strowman, "You will be okay. Have the surgery. Trust the process." Triple H told him directly, "What we are doing right now is not as important as what you are going to be doing in 15 years. Get it taken care of. You are not going anywhere." Strowman had the surgery. He came back. He wrestled again. Then his contract expired in July 2025. He is now semi-retired, hosting a food show on USA Network. The monster among men is gone, and most people never knew how close he came to losing everything before he got there.
Smoking these.
But that's not it.
Decisions.
I'm here to try it all.
Before the neck, before the surgery. There is one more dark thing in the Braun Strowman story that WWE never explained properly. On June 2nd, 2021, Strowman was released, cut gone with no creative reason given publicly. He was a former Universal Champion. He was one of the most over acts on Raw. He had won Money in the Bank. He was one of the biggest draws on the roster in terms of crowd reaction. And WWE let him go. The official reason was budget cuts. The unofficial reality was that Vince McMahon's vision for Strowman and Triple H's vision for Strowman were two completely different things. When Triple H took over as head of creative in 2022, one of the first things he did was bring Strowman back in September 2022. Because Triple H understood what had been sitting in the locker room unused. The thing Vince McMahon had cut was, in Triple H's estimation, exactly what Raw needed. Strowman came back. He worked hard, and then his spine gave out, and then his contract ran out, and now he is on a food show. That is the full Braun Strowman story. And it is not the story WWE's highlight reel ever tells you.
Looking for an F5, but just couldn't do it. Back gave out.
Wow.
And Strowman from behind.
Now, Bobby Lashley. And a story that almost nobody talks about. Lashley left WWE in 2008 when creative had run out of ideas for him after a bizarre Trump vs. McMahon storyline. He went to TNA, and by all backstage accounts, he was one of the easiest professionals that company had ever worked with. TNA executive Eric Bischoff described working with Lashley on his 83 Weeks podcast as working with butter. Classy, professional, no drama. But Lashley's then-girlfriend, Kristal Marshall, a former WWE diva, was his valet on TNA television. And Marshall was, according to Bischoff, the opposite of easy, hard to deal with. She created tension backstage. And in February 2010, TNA released Bobby Lashley. Not because of anything Bobby did, because of the friction around her. And nobody wanted to deliver the news. Not Dixie Carter, not the other executives. Bischoff said on the record that he was nominated to tell Lashley he was fired. Because nobody else would. Lashley took it with zero emotion. Bischoff said it was the most calm, business-like conversation he had ever had delivering bad news. Lashley already knew. He did not ask what he could have done differently. Because deep down, he already knew the answer was nothing.
Scott Steiner, you have forced my husband's hands, and he will not be held responsible for the damage that he's going to do to you.
I have nothing to say to you.
Lashley did something most wrestlers never do. He went and competed for real. As a professional fighter, he had been a legitimate college wrestler, two-time NIA national champion. He knew how to actually fight. He compiled a 15 wins and 2 losses record fighting in Strikeforce and Bellator. These were not exhibition matches. These were real fights against real opponents. He is one of the most legitimately dangerous athletes to have ever competed in professional wrestling. A man who could actually back up everything the character claimed. He returned in 2014, won their world title 4 times, left in 2018, came back to WWE, and then in 2021, the same year Strowman was released, Lashley finally became WWE champion. It took him 15 years of getting fired, going to other promotions, coming back, waiting, but he got there. And just as his championship reign was at its peak, Vince McMahon dissolved the Hurt Business, a faction that included Lashley, MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and Cedric Alexander. One of the most popular acts on Raw. Gone, no explanation, no payoff, just gone. Because Vince McMahon decided it was time.
Doing what Frank Shamrock alluded to the keys, and here he just continues to pepper the face of Wes Sim.
Ortiz and Chael Sonnen go face to face.
And this is about making the world see the destruction which he will run on any who oppose.
Here is what connects both men. Beyond the arm wrestling, beyond the size, both of them were treated as expendable when it mattered most. Strowman was released at the peak of his push, carrying an undiagnosed defect in his spine that could have ended everything on any given night. Lashley was fired from TNA for something he did not do, and the company did not even have the nerve to tell him directly. Both came back, both peaked under Triple H's creative direction. And both eventually ran out of road, Strowman through injury and an expired contract, Lashley through the unexplained dissolution of the best faction of his career. The lesson is the same one this channel keeps returning to. The biggest performers are not protected by their size or their ability or their crowd reaction. They are protected or not protected by decisions made in rooms they are never in. When those decisions go wrong, it does not matter how many tables you flip or how many real fights you have won. The system moves without you, and it almost never explains why. That arm wrestling match on Raw in 2019 is just a segment. A fun moment. A big man flipping a table, but the two men in it had stories behind them that the cameras never showed you. One was 9 millimeters from career-ending paralysis and did not know it. The other had already been discarded once for someone else's mistake, and was building himself back up for a championship run that Vince McMahon would eventually take away from him too. Both of them looked invincible. Neither of them was. That is the reality of professional wrestling that this channel exists to show you. Subscribe to Alpha War Room. Turn on notifications. This is the dark history nobody else is willing to tell. See you in the next one.
Got to move here, giving up his back. Worst place to be. Able just out of survival alone, trying to attack Braun Strowman. That didn't go. That wrestling ride, look at him hooking the right foot.